This commander looks like someone took the Witch of the Waste from Howl's Moving Castle and one of the minions from Despicable Me and smashed them together. Let's do a deck doctor. Plagan, Lord of the Beach, is 2 and a blue for a 0/3 legendary creature Starfish Wizard that reads, when Plagon, Lord of the Beach enters, draw a card for each creature you control with toughness greater than its power. Then you can also pay a white and a blue hybrid. Target creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power this turn. If you want to have all of the context for the cuts I'm making, go ahead and check out the Moxfield deck list right down below in the description. Also, if you want to submit your deck to me for a deck doctor, make sure that you go sign up for a Moxfield account because that's what I use when I'm doing these videos. Before we get into what I'm going to cut out of the deck, I want to talk about a few honorable mentions of cards that I just think are really cool in this deck. Number one is the Reality Chip. Giving yourself this kind of card advantage and card selection is just really good. Being able to get lands off the top of your library and things like that is always going to be a good play. My second honorable mention is Walking Bulwark, because this can be something that, as long as you've got enough mana, you can play this, activate it, and swing out with something that your opponents really weren't expecting. Giving haste in a blue-white deck is very hard to do outside of casting something at flash speed, so I just think this is a great include. And my third honorable mention is Sudden Substitution, because I just always like to make sure that players are aware of the split-second mechanic, because it's one of the most powerful things you can do to just stop anyone from interacting with you. My first cut in this deck is Cry Station, because yes, you want to have creatures that have toughness greater than their power for this deck. However, there is one very key piece of text on Plagan that makes a huge difference in how you're going to build this. It does not say non-token creature. It just says creature. So with that in mind, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on token generation for the rest of this deck doctor. I'm going to replace Cry Station with Builder's Talent because this is a great way to get a pretty big body as far as walls go, and you get some recursion and some buffing of your creatures. My next cut is Graceful Adept, because while you do want these kinds of effects, I'm going to replace that with the second Doctor because it still gives you the maximum hand size restriction, but it also turns into a sort of propaganda, which in a deck that is really a little bit more combo-centric is more powerful. My next cut is Chrome Shell Crab, because this is just a lot of mana investment for an effect that you already have better versions of in the deck. I'm going to replace that with Displacer Kitten, because you do have quite a few ETB triggers going on in this deck, and Displacer Kitten is just a great card to have in a deck like this. My last cut is Skittering Crustacean, because this is just way too much mana for absolutely zero impact. I'm going to replace that with Emrakul's Messenger, because this creates 0/1 tokens that also give you mana, so it plays into everything that you are trying to do with Plagon.